Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited to have Sam with us. She's the host of an amazing podcast, One Broke Actress, talking all about what it's like to actually be an actor in LA. First of all, thank you for coming over today.
Yeah, totally.
And when we were filming the podcast, we were talking about different techniques for acting and for auditions, and we both thought it would be really helpful because not only do these techniques work for actors, but they also work for kind of just anyone who wants a really fresh look for work, etc. Just like really pretty, really natural. So I thought we'd go over a few of the tips that are really helpful.
All the help I can get.
I always like to start out with a little lip balm. By the time you are finished your makeup, your lips will be hydrated and prepped and ready for lipstick. So I feel like the skin prep is the most important part. And you can always see really well hydrated skin on camera. That just got all over me. So yeah, you just want your skin to look really fresh. You can take your beauty blender and just finish the skin with it. Really press the moisturizer in.
That you recently washed.
That I recently washed. It must be washed. Beauty blender is the one thing I think is good to wash every single time you use it.
Ugh, all right.
I know. Another hot tip that we were talking about, these are the Laura Mercier hydrating primers. This is my favorite primer. When you have multiple auditions, jobs, things you're doing, a friend's birthday party later that night, and you do want your makeup to last, you will want a primer. I like the Laura Mercier ones because they don't have a silicone feel.
Okay.
They like give your skin an extra boost so that you don't get that weird makeup, like
that cakey
look by 3 p.m.
Yep.
Where you're like, oh my gosh, I can see this in like every pore. So it feels like there's going to be a lot on your skin, but the beauty blender will kind of take a lot of that weight away. So again, I just go in really quickly.
Let me ask you a question. I have a couple different colors of foundation. One that I use more often in the summer months and one I use more often in the winter because it's a lot lighter.
Yeah, that's great.
So I kind of end up like right now, for example, it's April. I'll mix the two of them. Is that, do we think that that's copacetic?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Oh. Look, as you were saying it, that's what I'm doing is I'm just kind of mixing some shades in.
Okay, cool.
And cream foundation, I think we talked about this too. Cream foundation is really nice for on camera. Like for every single day, it might be a little teeny bit too intense, but for an audition, cream foundations just look really, really nice on camera. RCMA was developed specifically for on camera.
Ooh, okay.
So, you know, like I said, it's a little bit intense for every single day. I don't know if I'd want to like, you know, go to Trader Joe's in it, but but I'm also mixing it with another foundation called Kogundo, which again was developed for on camera by a Japanese actress, and it has really good skincare level ingredients in it, and it was developed, one, to look beautiful on camera, and then two, to improve the quality of your skin during filming instead of deteriorate it.
Oh, thank God someone's thinking about that.
As you can see too, I'm just dragging everything down your neck because your body will never be the same color as your face, even if you get like the most perfect matching foundation. So just so you don't get like one of those weird lines, you know? Yeah. The dreaded
line.
Now I'm going to do under eye. I'm going to color correct for dark circles. This Becca one was the one that I was telling you that is like the one that I think everyone in the world must have.
Okay.
I talk about it or am wearing it in almost every single photo or blog post. It's just like, there's nothing else like it and it just works. We all tend to be a little bit bluish right here in the inner corner of our eye. And so I'm just going to dab a little bit. The key with this is to only tap it where you have bluish tones. And I'll take this as my little mini beauty blender.
It's such a little baby.
The baby one. And just really blend that out.
Now, if you have a big one, could you just use the little tip end?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. That's what I do for myself. I don't know why, but for when I tried to use the little baby on myself, it didn't feel right. But when I try to use the big one on other people, I don't get the control that I want. And so I like this one for other people, but yeah, at home just.
You can use the tip of the.
Yeah,
just.
I'm
all about concise.
Exactly. No. I'm just gonna go in and highlight now. You just start to see this glow. I remember when I first discovered highlighter. It was like so long ago. And Benefit made and still makes this highlighter. It's called High Beam.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it on you because it's more for people who are cool toned.
Okay.
But like me, so I would put it on, and I was so fair and so cool toned that it would just like pop, and people are like, "What are you? I don't understand. Like, how are you taking photos like this? Like, how are they so good?" And I was like, "Man, you gotta get this stuff." You know, I was like telling everyone about it, but no one really knew about highlighting and contouring yet, and so they were like, "No, I don't want to do another step in my routine or whatever." And I'm like, "I'm telling you, man, this is where it's at."
That's like during I feel like the matte was like the biggest thing.
Matte foundation.
Oh my gosh, I spent so long getting rid of any shine or dew on my face.
I think that's what it really was too. It was like everything was super heavy and super matte. And I'm going to take a little contour. And again, this is not like anything crazy at all. I feel like a little bit with contouring and highlighting, it's gotten this bad rep of like...
intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not intense. It's like literally just, you know, foundation and kind of, maybe you just chin down a little bit. It's just putting back the shape, you know, where the foundation is creating a nice smooth base. And so you want to go back in and just put that in. You can see it's not, we haven't even blended it yet, and it's not harsh at all. I like to just even out the around the hairline a little bit too, just like even out the forehead, and then just a little bit under job. If it still feels like, you know, oh, like I can see a little bit of a line or whatever, you can just take your blender and go back in, and then just press. The blender is like the best tool on earth. I swear, I think it's like the one thing that everyone really needs.
What did you do before your beauty blender?
I don't know. I think about it and I'm like, what did I do? And honestly, Sam, I resisted for so long.
Because it's a $20 sponge. That's crazy.
I know.
And you like using that size of a brush for the powder? I feel like I use a big fluffy one usually. Is that not as...
The big fluffy ones are great. I think they're great for finishing, like when you just want to give yourself a nice little candlelit glow with like maybe one of the Hourglass ambient lights. But this one I like because, will you look up for me? Like I can get right under your eyes like I'm doing. Mm-hmm. You know, and like get right into that inner corner and like really get everything set. And I'm just kind of avoiding the highlight and the blush area. For eyebrows, you always just want to brush up first if you're going to do a pencil. And then you can see where your bald spots are or patchiness. So I'm using a tone that is the same color as your eyebrows. And I'm just doing these little strokes. I'm starting at the arch like we talked about. Just creating like a nice elongated brow. So I don't know if you can see this brow. Yeah, compared to this brow. Like it just, I love these pencils because it looks so natural.
And do you keep the pencil pretty sharp for that?
This one is a self-sharpening.
Okay.
It's a micro brow pencil. They have a ton of them now. Like Anastasia Beverly Hills was the first one to do it. Hers are called Brow Wiz. They have the smallest amount of product. You're going to end up buying it like once a month and you'll go crazy. L'Oreal makes a great drugstore option. It's only $10.
Okay.
And I will say, if you have like any bald or sparse patches, you do need a micro pencil because they fill everything in the best. If you already have pretty thick brows, you can get away with just a gel. I get up to the front of your brows. That's when I change, and instead of the line going sideways, I start going up a little bit.
Ah, okay.
Because if you ever want to just like, I think it's so important too, if you're going to start wearing makeup, just really take some time and look in the mirror and just study the shape of your face so you can see where the contour is going to go. Study your eyebrows, notice which way the hairs are growing. I'm going to pop on a little teeny bit of eye primer. I think we talked about this too. Mm-hmm. You want to just make sure your eye primer is really silky. There's some good ones and there's some bad ones out there. And you're just going to tap that across your lid.
Now, if you're balling on a budget, could you use regular primer on your lids?
Oh yeah. For me, the most important part is just that it's really, really thin.
Okay.
Like, we're gonna do the line's gonna be so close to your eye.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just have you look halfway down. I feel like where everyone thinks they have to do a winged liner.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just get the liner like really close to your natural lashes. And then instead of winging it, just let it like taper off.
I'm never really sure what to do on the end, so.
I don't know. And also I think that's what's happening is people are like, I don't know what to do. You feel like you need something there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to take a brown shade that is kind of like, we just used a brown eyeliner because brown is so much softer and easier to wear for most people than black. So I'll take a little brown eyeshadow, and I just like to put a little bit on the back of my hand. That way you have control over it instead of the eyeshadow controlling you. And I'm just going to go right over the line we just did. And 1, this will really blend it into your lash line. And then 2, the powder softens the line. This is nice for auditions again because it doesn't really look like you're wearing any makeup, but it's going to give your eyes a little bit of definition, especially if you're just putting it on your upper eyelids. It brings brings your face up.
Okay.
And I'm just going to do a little bit in the bottom lower corners, barely any, but it's just so you don't have like, you know,
no hard stop.
yeah, exactly. We were talking about this too. This is my favorite shade, my favorite bronze shade. It's a MAC eyeshadow. I feel like I have no MAC makeup except for this one like eyeshadow that's just gives and gives and gives. And I'm going to take a little bit of that and we're going to work that into your lower lash line. It's going to make your eyes really pop and sparkle. Bronze is this great universal shade. And this is, out of all the ones I've tried, I feel like the MAC Tempting is just the one that I can use on just about every skin tone. It sort of amazes me.
So this is like instead of an eyeliner pencil.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of a liner, which can feel and like look a little bit harsh, I'll just get this bronze shade as close as I can to your lashes. I'll just take a brush that has absolutely no product on it, and then maybe look up for me. And I'm just blending out what we just did, so there's no edge to it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about blending a lot in the podcast.
Blending is like, I feel like you could wear neon green eyeshadow, and if it's blended like pretty well, people will be like, does she have neon green eyelids? Like,
I'm okay with it. I'm down with it.
Yeah. We're going to do a little crease shade, really, really light. So for you, Sam, it's going to be this another favorite eyeshadow, you can tell. It's so crazy when you can start to see all your favorites, right?
And this is the one that you said is a shade lighter.
Deeper, yeah.
Deeper than your skin tone.
Yeah, you could even use your contour powder too, but
oh, okay, good to know.
A lot of companies now too are selling just the refill for contour shades, and I'm so happy that they started doing that because unless you're a makeup artist, you don't need more than 2 contour shades. One for like fake tan and one for fair, like your normal skin shade. You know, I'm just working this in. This is a pointed crease brush, and I like the point because it can work in the shadow where I want. And as you can see, the brush is like barely touching, well, you can't see it, but like maybe you guys can see it at home, like it's barely touching the skin.
Yeah, it's super soft.
At the end, I'm gonna have you just turn a little bit this way. I'm not putting anything else on the brush. I'm just taking this because it is pointed, and I'm just pulling the shadow up and out a little bit. And as you can see, that's not adding color. It's not making a really harsh wing. It's just taking what's already there and blending it up and out, which is a really flattering eyeshadow shape for most people. It just elongates your eye. I think we talked about this too. Whatever your skin tone is, you're gonna take an eyeshadow that's exactly your skin tone and just go across your lid. And this will just even out your lid. Well, I just got a little mascara on your face, and so what I'm gonna do is just grab.
Oh, great, real life.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a Q-tip and then grab a little bit of moisturizer. The moisturizer is better than makeup remover because it'll just blend whatever, like your concealer and that sort of thing.
Oh, that might be the hottest tip that you've given today. That is very important.
This is called Skindinavia. It's a makeup finishing spray. This will just lock your makeup in place for 10 to 12 hours. It's a must-have. I feel like I'm just wasting my makeup now if I don't put it on because it's science.
Yeah. Yeah.
It locks it in and like really keeps your makeup on.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, and so after I do that setting spray, I just go back in with a little powder in my T-zone where I like definitely want to look matte on camera. Is right here. And around my mouth I want to look matte. And I'm gonna have you look up. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
We're done.
Cool.
This is
my audition.
Yeah. And now we got to see everything that we talked about in the podcast.
Perfect. You guys should check it out. It's on iTunes and SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And onebrokeactress.com.
And then you can go, if you want to go check out my YouTube, it is Molly Kirker, because I got my YouTube before I ever had the Girl Get Glamorous blog. It was like strictly when I was looking up animal best friend and cat videos is like...
The original reason for YouTube.
Yeah. My Pinterest, and I got Pinterest before that too, and my Pinterest quote is, they say you should make a career out of doing what you love, but I don't know how to make a career out of watching cat videos online. And I forget that I wrote that, and then sometimes I'll go back to Pinterest and I'm like,
changing it.
Dream's still there.
Not changing it.
Dream is still there, but goodbye.
Bye.